Inside Foos presents FoosTalk Live.
I only leave the house once a year now.
Yeah.
Because of that.
And what day do you leave the house?
Well, actually, the day that I came here.
He's gonna take the garbage out.
Yeah.
He takes the garbage out on Wednesday, and then he comes right back in.
Maybe go to the theater once a year, the day the new Star Wars movie comes out, I'm guessing.
I don't even know the last movie I saw. Now I'm depressed.
It's FoosTalk Live.
You talking to me?
Compelling and lively banter.
Are you going to talk to us?
Talking foosball.
Foosball was how I measured my value as a man. You took that away.
Players and fans, promoters and pros. Unedited and raw.
Talk.
Living in the moment.
We have a lot of important things to talk about.
All while practicing social distancing.
Cool. We'll talk. No big whoop.
Let's get this thing started. FoosTalk Live. Coming to you live from the studios of Inside Foos, it's the 85th episode of FoosTalk Live, a 2021 Colorado State Championship recap. Brought to you by InsideFoos.com, offering monthly subscriptions with access to some of the most exciting matches ever recorded, plus live tournaments, pre- and post-show analysis, interviews, and original programming. Sign up now at InsideFoos.com. Also brought to you by ProtectoFlex, the world's premier foosball safety accessory. Go to Protecto-Flex.com. Brought to you by RodLock. Practice more, reach less. The best practice tool in foosball. Visit rod-lock.com. Brought to you by 518 Prints, one of the best printers of promotional items and foosball apparel. Visit 518prints.com. Also brought to you by Foosballers, the movie. This Joe Hesslinger foosball documentary is now available as a worldwide download at foosballersthemovie.com. Also brought to you by the USTSO, helping to usher in a new era of competitive foosball. Become a member at usafoosball.com. And brought to you by Foosball Clubs USA, promoting foosball through school systems all over the United States. Make a donation today at foosballclubsusa.com. Well, hey there, it's Tom Robinson. We're back together again and live with the 85th episode of FoosTalk Live. I guess I could say that the rest of the staff at FoosTalk Live is decompressing from their journey to the Mile High City in Denver, Colorado last weekend. Of course, conversation about foosball is always better when you have someone to share it with, such as the guru of fasting, former teen idol, and world amateur champion from the Windy City. It's Mark Taurus. Hello, Mark.
Hello, Tom, and former teen idol. I'm going to take that as an insult, but I appreciate the invitation as usual, and I'm excited to be here. We got some great, young, vibrant, enthusiastic foosers.
Yes.
Super happy to be here.
Oh yeah, no doubt. No, it's interesting. I know that you guys spent 5 days in the Mile High City.
So let me think. I got the Thursday night, Friday night, Saturday, Sunday. I had 4 nights.
Okay.
But, yeah, 4 nights. It was great, man. I ate. Well, there was a Starbucks in the parking lot. So it was a little more healthy.
Nice.
Than usual.
Okay.
But they had a great Indian family there making Mexican food. And let me tell you what, if you ever wanted a burrito from an Indian family, this is the place to go.
It's heavy on the curry, I take it.
It's heavy on the digestive tract.
Really? Wow.
Yeah.
Well,
no, great time, man.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, of course, I should probably introduce now the official foodie of FoosTalk Live, all the way from Ventura, California, Adam Gilson. Hello, Adam.
I had a pizza that was so hot that it turned my tongue into a diamond. That's the kind of place that place was.
Okay.
Very lovely folks, but that pizza.
And what were the toppings for the pizza? What were the choices?
It was a molten core, and then something that was used to power the Millennium Falcon. So it was a fun time. No, it was. Are you kidding me? I'm always super nerdy. No, it was the food was good. If you didn't eat it, and it was a lot of fun.
Okay, I'll take that as a yes. You had a good time. So okay, yeah. Well, I mean,
we have a new series called Inside Foos After Dark, by the way, and after 10 p.m. we just give ourselves permission to no longer responsibly deliver a professional presentation. Now, it doesn't mean we are crude, and
No,
it doesn't
Right.
mean that we're inappropriate, but it means we're probably not appropriate and classy. However, that said, we did make remarks about the pizza that was still there under the heat lamp at like 6 a.m.
See,
It was
yeah,
wild, man.
yeah.
What-
Whoever said the least funny line that night had to eat the pizza that was sitting there since Thursday.
Can you imagine?
That
Oh,
was good.
I can't imagine. Well, I can't imagine. Maybe somebody had that for breakfast. I mean, you've heard of the recipe, right? Cold pizza for breakfast with Coke to wash it down.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
That's
breakfast of champions.
Yes, indeed.
that's like my
But
mid-30s before I got married. So don't talk too
Yeah.
much smack about that.
but yeah, it was, and we're gonna obviously our top 5 tonight. We're gonna be talking about our takeaways from the weekend. But
Yes.
it was so much, and it was so much fun, and it was so much competition, and so many people in such a short amount of time. It was. I don't think I've been to 4 big tournaments this year, more than I've been to in like 15 years.
Sure.
I don't think any other tournament was like this.
Okay. Mostly because of, I guess the hotel is pretty extraordinary from what I understand. Correct?
Yeah, mid 1980s castle.
Oh yeah, right. Really unique.
So yeah,
And look,
it's
man,
it's very
it's
unique.
gonna be in my top 5. But TSK Promotions, Tim Walters, Terry Chapman, and Tommy Chapman, they put on a good show.
Yeah.
They
Mhm.
don't phone it in. They pay attention to all the
Right.
details. So we're going to get to that. But
Yeah.
they deserve to be recognized, and we'll get to that
Absolutely.
certainly later.
Yeah, no, I totally get that. And of course, tonight we're really going to heavily focus in on what was happening when it comes to the younger players, this next generation, if you forgive the euphemism. It's the stories are plenty. And some names that, of course, tonight we're going to be joined by a couple of those future stars. Actually, not even future stars, but current stars.
Present.
Yeah, present stars.
I would say.
Of course, we've got Ethan and we've got Sammy with us tonight. So both of them are in their teens and accomplished a lot this past week.
Yep.
So we're going to be talking to those guys, of course, and looking forward to that. But I just got to, just an overview from you two. First of all, Mark, what do you feel was the best performance of the weekend?
Oh man, it's a rough one.
That is tough, huh?
Well, so Noelia, and once again, we'll get into some of this stuff later, but Noelia had, if you want to call it a breakout weekend of sorts, she had a great, she had some things that went her way, and we'll talk about this later. Some things went her way for sure.
Okay.
There was a little snafu with Sully not being able to play singles. Brandon, if you want to talk about Brandon Munoz, if you want to talk about players that are on the fringe, gosh, we're gonna get to Sammy later. But wow, man, like Trevor and Brandon Moreland. Yeah, these are all. I'm basically prematurely delivering the top 5. So let's just
So, well, I don't
say
mean
that
to.
there was some people need to be recognized for sure.
Right. No, I don't mean to give anything away, but certainly there was just if you watch any of the coverage on Inside Foos, it was just astounding just to watch the. I was glued to my computer on Saturday evening watching the stuff and listening to the commentary, and it was just I just wish I could have been there. Let's put it that way. Adam, what?
Oh, there's next year, Tom.
Yeah,
You got to go next year, man.
There is next year. There is next year. So, Adam, what about you? What can you say?
I would just parrot pretty much everything that Mark just said. I don't want to give too much away because of our top 5, but I will say if there was a performance of the week, it was going to be the TSK Productions, their crew, and everything they did.
Right.
And the thing that got me, and I actually don't talk about this in my top 5, which is fine. I talk about it now. Was the attention to detail to making sure that the players show up. Like they came. They had set up different times. That actually Tommy Bagley came and picked me up, and Alan Turner out of the Pacific Northwest, and Gina Murray. And they were just texting back and forth, and they took care of everybody.
That's
and
great.
and that's that sense of that players tournament feeling that is just. It's not like anything else I've experienced. So it was great.
It's interesting how they've been doing this since 2013. Of course, they talked to us about this on the air, but their reputation has just carried them so far, and they've maintained that reputation, it seems.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Yeah, that's exciting. That's really great. And it's just exactly what the sport needs at the right moment. And as we get back into this post-COVID, hopefully, in the near future.
Yep.
Well, guys, even though Jim's not here, we still need to quench our thirst. What Jim and I like to do right about this time is to reveal our favorite IPA. So, okay, Adam, I know that you're the next best thing to an IPA drinker besides Jim. So, what are you partaking of this evening?
I'm actually going to put next best thing to an IPA drinker besides Jim on my business card.
Oh, nice.
That's just it. Yeah. But no, what I'm drinking is something I've had actually this past weekend. Jim introduced me to it, and now it's my go-to. It's going to be like always. It's just going to be in my fridge at all times. It's a Deschutes Fresh Haze IPA.
Ooh, Deschutes.
And it's like, if I were to describe to somebody what I like about a hazy IPA, and keep in mind, I've just started drinking IPAs in the last 5-6 months because of you all.
Mm-hmm.
This is it. This is just, it's just the right amount of citrus, just the right amount of bitterness. Not even really bitterness. It's just, it floats in the mouth and it lands upon your tongue like a butterfly, and it just stays there with you as a friend that you've known for a long time.
Sounds like something Muhammad Ali would like. Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
So does it go easily down Deschutes?
With puns like that, who needs enemies?
You may sample.
Oh God, it's so good. This is so good.
Mark, what about you?
You know, it's never exciting with me on a Sunday night, and it's not going to change tonight. I'm having a LaCroix.
A LaCroix?
And I will toast with you guys. Excited to toast you guys. I'm dry, except for at foosball tournaments when I can get incredibly soaking wet. But right now I'm dry, and hey, I'm enjoying my LaCroix, guys.
All right. Well, I guess that leaves me. I actually was going to try and find something out of Colorado myself, but I made it all the way to Grand Rapids, Michigan, and found something from a company I've sampled their stuff before. It's called Founders Brewing Company out of Grand Rapids. And this one, I just love the name. It's called Unraveled Juicy IPA. Just for our FoosTalk live show, it's called Unraveled, Mark. 6.6% alcohol. And I'm going to try it for the first time here. Take the wrapper off of that one. It's a little bitey, I have to say. I like it. Okay, I mean there's a nice finish, but okay, it's not bad. Let's put it that way. There you go. For the first time, I think I've been completely honest with you guys about this IPA.
You've been lying before?
No. I mean I've usually liked what I'm trying, but this one is okay.
Dude, you like that peanut butter jelly fettuccine Alfredo whatever IPA, so I don't trust you at all.
No. Hold on a
You
second.
lost all credibility.
It's called Peanut Butter Shake India Pale Ale from Westbrook Brewing Company. So there.
You memorized it.
Yes.
Wow.
Is that good?
Okay. Well, your cred went up. All
right. Well, of course, we have to raise a glass. We have to propose a toast this evening for our honor group of the week, and the honor group of the week goes to the Southern California Foosball Group. Just recently, I noticed they've been posting on Facebook of late. And by the way, their phrase is LA Foosball Club. Number one rule of LA Foosball Club: don't talk about LA Foosball Club. Oh well, too late. So,
cheers, guys.
Cheers.
You know, LA Foosball Club is obviously where I grew up playing foosball.
Yes.
In the last 20-something years.
And I wanted to ask you about that. So what's the scene like?
Well, the scene used to be really good. It was down deep in the so I live in Ventura, California, which is about an hour and a half as the crow flies from LA. But as the person drives on the 405, it's about 4 or 5 grueling hours to get there. And back when I was in my 20s, I could go down to do play league or whatever we used to do on a Thursday night, get home at 3 or 4 in the morning, go to work the next day. But nowadays, I can't even tie my shoes without screaming. So those days are gone. But the scene is still there. There's a bunch of players just around. You know, right now they're playing mostly at people's houses at Trevor Park.
Okay.
And Steve Fajita's house. Wednesday, actually, we're going to get together with a Fooster named Fadi lives down here, 5 minutes from me. Jim Stevens and his wife should be coming out, and we get some okay action as far as it goes. But the problem with LA is that it's just spread out everywhere, and you've got 20 freeways to go across to get anywhere. But you know what? It is what it is, and it's a hardy base that just needs a smaller square mileage to play in.
Okay. Yeah, just something more focused. Yeah, understood. Well, as they say in the old adage, you can't get there from here. So that makes it kind of tough, I'm sure.
Let me write that down.
Yeah.
Hold on.
It's no, we're looking
That one's going
forward.
to keep me up all night, by the way.
You can't
Yeah.
get there from here.
Yeah.
Well, one of the reasons I chose Southern California as well is because one of our guests is hailing from Southern
Right.
California this evening.
Yeah.
So it's only
Cool.
fair. But cheers and here's to the guys in Southern Cal. Foosball players all for sure. Well, it is something that I know, again, Jim is not here, but I do want to do a little reminiscing with the flashback. And this one I think you guys might even recognize. Let's see what happens here. With great moments in foosball history, this is a FoosTalk Live flashback.
Blake going through that high lane will set it up, looking to extend this match to a fifth and final game. Robertson shot attempt, box in and bounces up into the air and off the table. And look out here.
Now you gotta sweat. You got because he's got the ball.
Yeah.
You gotta stress it out now.
Yeah.
That's a big deal.
More.
Yep.
Hammers it home.
Yep.
You saw Blake look up and say, darn it.
Yep. You gotta convert, man. Or that superior master at the moment is gonna be 1 point ahead of you. He's gonna convert that point.
I will make this argument, and we talk about how Ryan Moore has the greatest two-rod of all time. But the other thing he is the greatest two-rod closer we've ever seen. How many times have we seen him put away a game or a match or a championship on the two-rod? Like, you almost knew he was going to score there, right?
Right.
Didn't you all?
Yeah. Yeah. We all. Yeah.
You
Yeah.
kind of knew he was. And I don't think I've ever seen it. And Billy could do it too.
Yeah.
But I don't think I've ever seen anybody like Ryan who could close the deal from the two-rod on such a consistent basis.
Listen in next time for another great moment in foosball history. It's FoosTalk Live flashback. Well, it may be recent history, but nonetheless, it was a very telling moment there with Ryan Moore taking on Blake Robertson, who played as partners at the Worlds. Now they're playing against each other for third place at Colorado for open singles. And I love that Mark's like, Ryan's got the ball in the 2-row.
Yeah. Am I still here?
Yeah, you're still here.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's funny. I want to speak to this in a couple different frames. So Ryan at the Worlds had a generational performance on the 2-bar.
Mm-hmm.
Like once in a era, I've seen one person shoot like that throughout the longevity of a tournament. It was Dave Gummison. And what I'm talking about is a guy who is unstoppable from the 2-bar for whatever stars line up. Now, Ryan is still a lethal threat. I mean, but he did not shoot the way he did at the Worlds. He did not duplicate. He shot Ryan Moore well, but he didn't shoot that Ryan Moore +1.
Right.
The thing I was referring to, if you watch that broadcast, is this idea of +1. And it was over a series of matches where I described the difference between a superior master, a master, which I think there are masters and like grandmasters, and then pros, which is the vast majority. If you've heard my argument before, there are masters and there are pros, and a lot of people that have the points of a master are not masters, in my opinion. They're just weak pros. We actually had an argument live, me and Keith Glenn. I had an argument with him live during the Colorado broadcast. But this idea of +1, it happens at every level. Like the good expert is going to convert against the amateur. It's going to go 4-4. A good amateur and a good expert, it's going to go 4-4. But the expert's always going to be +1. Is always going to get the block and convert, and that just happens at a high enough percentage. That's the gap, and that gap continues to happen between amateur and expert, pro and expert, master and pro, and grandmaster. In this case, we'll say Ryan Moore, and the master like Blake Robertson. Blake Robertson got the ball. He was actually 4-3, if I'm remembering the possession correctly. It was 4-3, and Blake Ryan got the ball, and Blake didn't convert, and Ryan scored it, and it's 4-4, and Blake missed a shot, and Ryan converted it. That's the
Yes.
same difference between any single level of player. It's just happening at a much higher level of skill. But I'll bring up one last thing, not to belabor too much. Frederic, 7 hours ago, wrote this. I do some funny stuff. If you guys are friends with Billy Pappas and you guys know all the drama with Yana Correa, I did
Right.
this whole been joking. But Frederic wrote this 7 hours ago. He said to Lewis Cartwright, Ryan Moore has a great two-rod for singles, like Terry Moore had a great one too, but nothing to compare with Billy's two-rod. Billy's two-rod is much faster. There is no match to me, even if Ryan's two-rod is probably in the top 3 actual on Tornado. It does not compare to Billy Pappas's two-bar.
Really?
That's Federico Colagnon telling you that
Wow.
Billy, and I've been saying this all along, it's absolutely true. Billy's two-bar has a compacted stroke. He has a lower backswing. His lateral speed is noticeably faster than Ryan, and Ryan's looks like light speed.
Yes.
So I just want to throw that out there, that there are these gradients. And Billy, if Billy had focused, again, remember Billy won 4 Open Singles World Championships in like 5 years. Maybe it was 6 years. It was either 4 and 5. So these things, man, they get to incredible levels of execution
Yeah.
and power and speed. And Billy, where Fred, everyone would agree Federico has the fastest hands probably ever in foosball at the top level. There might have been someone who had faster hands, but we never seen him play, or he never achieved the success that Fred did. Billy's two-rod is the superior scoring two-rod.
Interesting. Okay. I wish we had Clay here
Anyway.
for stats.
Yeah, I can't disagree with that though. That's a legit. No, I obviously it's hard because generationally Billy was in his prime. What?
Yeah.
You know how long ago? In
early 2000s.
Early 2000s, and Ryan's still out here just doing it. You know, they kind of handed off the torch, but I would agree. His stroke, and if there's an analog or a parallel to that, it was what we saw this week with Brandon Moreland and his his pull shot. He has such a great compact stroke, and you can make so much happen with it. And technique wise, mechanics wise, that's where Billy was far and away. And also, it's not a hard argument to make because Federico said it. So if I agree, I sound smart.
Yeah, it's easy, right? It's easy to agree with Fred.
That's an easy agree.
Yeah. No, I have to say, after seeing the match, I went back and looked at the video, and I had to stop the video a couple of times and try and do it frame by frame to see what Ryan was doing, because I'm always interested to see his technique. But it was, even in the frame by frame, it was so fast, it happened so quickly.
Yeah,
it's hard to see. But yeah, it's remarkable to see the difference between even Blake and Ryan, for sure.
Yeah.
Well, guys, I mean, this episode, of course, of FoosTalk Live, if you just tuned in, is all about the recap of what happened. A lot happened in Colorado this last week. So it's time for the top 5. You guys ready to do this?
Yeah.
And this is the top 5 takeaways when it comes to what happened last week. And so you guys want to flip a coin as to who's going to go first with their reveal?
I want Adam to go first.
Okay.
Because if I like Adam's better than mine, I'm going to adopt Adam. The way Jim
That's
adopts
fair.
Mine.
That's exactly what you do all the time anyway, so you might as well say it out loud.
He's admitting a technique here. So, okay. Very cool. Here we go.
All right. Yep.
Time once again for the FoosTalk Live Top 5.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
FoosTalk Live Top 5. Number.
Because we have a bunch of guests tonight, I'm going to omit the purple prose and the rosy language and not tell you big long stories and try to tie it together.
All right.
But anyways, back when I was 4, no, does that land? No? Okay, I'll work on that. Anyways, so here's number 5 for me. And I just love seeing the progression of an idea that goes from just what's happening organically with a group of people, and then it turns into something that's just like, I was standing there next to Mark Torres and Jim Stevens when somebody, and I think it might have been Mark, first said the 2 words "after dark." and put that in after Inside Foos, and it was just like
Love it.
I've literally never seen lights go off over people's heads, but in that moment it was just like, this is so perfect. This has got to be what we do. And then the first night that we did it Saturday night was just so much fun. Obviously we still talk about foosball and things like that, but the fact that we're sitting there until 6 a.m. trying to do finals matches, Mark, having the after dark wiggle room really makes the roundhouse kicks feel a lot more organic to the situation. So for me, number 5 is After Dark Inside Foos.
Love it.
Okay, nice. I think it's my turn. I'm not used to going second. So yeah, just a quick word on After Dark. It gives us permission to be more loose, because we're going to be more loose. If you've been up there, you start doing live streaming at noon, and then you're there at midnight, 1, 2, 6 a.m. after eating like the equivalent of pizza rolls all day long and a drink
Hot
or
Pockets.
two.
If you're lucky.
And so
Yeah.
adding After Dark, the irony about After Dark is a lot of people, if you're watching it live after dark, something's wrong with you, by the way. It's like midnight and you're watching foosball.
Right.
You have issues. But after that, a lot of people will watch this the next day at like whatever, regular, a normal hour, and they're like, I don't get it. These guys are crazy. Yeah, you're watching at 3 p.m., but we did it at midnight.
Right.
So, but and I got to mention one more thing, because Trevor Park's been texting me, and Trevor Park's listening right now, and he actually favors Ryan's two. And having played with Billy and won with Billy in multiple events, he favors Ryan's 2-bar.
Ooh.
And so yeah, but there's some question, like you got to start splitting hairs. Like most people agree, Billy's push shot is superior. Anyway, there's a lot of. I just wanted to throw that. I want to give Trevor.
And then passing.
Listening. Yeah.
You want to give him credit for listening?
Yeah, I want to give him credit for just listening.
Well, of course.
All right, so he's a good listener. He's an active listener. All right, my number 5. My number 5 for this takeaways is Noelia. Noelia's performance at this tournament is my number 5, and the reason why is she wins expert mixed, she wins Queen of the Ring, she wins women's singles, she wins 3 events. Now, I will take away nothing from Noelia, because I thought her temperament, she's an aggressive, feisty, fiery woman.
Oh yeah.
She makes eye contact and she puts you in a corner, almost like she's a big fan of Cindy Head. And she played Cindy Head multiple times, at one point to controversy. She's got the temperament, and she clearly goes home and practices her tail off. She works hard, and she studies. She got a couple of breaks. Midori couldn't get the time off, so Midori had to stay home, couldn't play in the tournament. And Sullivan Rue got forfeited into the losers bracket at women's singles. So she dodged a couple of bullets, but that's not to say that she wasn't playing well enough to beat them anyway. She was playing so darn good that it would have been a match ball situation, even if Sully did not get knocked in the loser bracket. So I got all props to Noelia. I think she's like a second coming in some ways, not to anoint her too early, but she reminds me of Cindy Head with a crazy strong rollover, which is awesome to have all that skill, all that fire, all that hard work, and have a really good rollover. And so that's my number 5, Noelia.
FoosTalk Live Top 5. Number 4.
Tom, we talked about this last Sunday when I called in and was talking to you, and Jim and I were talking to you, and I was trying to explain what the whatever it was going on at that tournament that weekend. Like I was so much in the middle of it that it was hard for me to talk about it. But I thought about it, and I know what it is at this tournament. It's overwhelming because it's basically like a mini Worlds. You have all the events, all the competition that exists, large numbers that exist at the Tornado Championships, but you concentrate it down into 4 days.
Yeah.
And maybe less tables, and maybe the same amount of events, and it's overwhelming. And to me, the number 4 takeaway is not only, and the joke has always been for 20 something years that the Colorado State is the West Coast Worlds, but it's no joke. It really truly is. And it all credit. I mean, that's my other takeaway. I'm kind of couching 2 things in number 4, but the other all credit goes to TSK Promotions. Everything that they're doing, the crew that get together, the people that give a darn about foosball as much as they do, it's heartening and it's amazing to see. So for me, number 4 is going to be West Coast Worlds and all the people, the production that goes behind it.
Love it.
Okay. Sorry, I keep waiting for it to say number 4. It's already
You
done.
want me to do it again for you? I mean,
No,
I could-
no. You don't. But I get so now my phone is blowing up because I misrepresented Trevor, and I can't do that. So
Uh-oh.
let me just clarify some things. He said Billy's pull shot is better than Ryan's, but Ryan shoots everything well. Billy's individual shots are better, but Ryan can make stuff up better on the fly. So when we start splitting hairs, I'm just going to disagree with you, Trevor. Billy's 2 bars better. And also Trevor saying that Bobby Diaz is the best goalie of all time. No,
Ooh.
he
Okay.
didn't say that. I'm putting words in.
Okay.
All right. He said LOL. Okay, just focus. Can you guys focus? Really,
Yeah,
focus.
yeah.
I think we can.
My number 4 is Brandon Munoz on the fringe of greatness. He's on
Yes.
the cusp. Now, I'm a cynical guy, and I especially when it comes to foosball, because like it's easy like 30 years ago to get excited about certain players. 30 years later, you see guys get really good and then flame out or burn out or stop coming around. I've seen them come and go, super talented guys. And the other thing I've seen, unfortunately, is a whole bunch of people take second and third and never ever win a championship. And it creates a certain cynicism. It kind of created my filter where I look at pros and masters differently. And I'm actually going to probably do a video vignette on my opinion about pros, quote unquote, and masters and what it means. And I don't have a problem saying it. When I was in the 90s, there was 50 masters. There were 50 masters
50.
in the 90s, and I probably beat 40 of them, and that was horrible. That just goes to show you what the disparity was. Anyway, Brandon Munoz, he takes second in pro doubles, second in open mixed, and he took second in an open mixed pro double, second in open doubles.
Mm-hmm.
That is right there,
Yep.
sniffing championship play. It is right there. He's right there, just a couple of decisions away, the right mental framework away, the right things to practice. And I have complete faith, because I'm an optimist in that way. I have faith that he can put the pieces together, understand his shortcomings, and get across the finish line. But he's my number 4 because it's such an outstanding performance. It's not championship level play yet. It's right there. And to take second in 3 events means you got something going on. He's sniffing it, but I have faith in Brandon Munoz to show us something else the next time we see him play.
FoosTalk Live Top 5. Number 3.
Before I say 3, I just want to agree with Mark. And this is something we talked about, Mark, when we were up there in the booth, was that my thought was this is Brandon's soft breakout tournament, Munoz, and for it to be a full breakout, he has to close. He had 2 different situations where he didn't, 3 or whatever you want to call it. So to me, it's a soft, and I agree. This is big, and it's going to turn into some huge things. Maybe the rest end of this year, or definitely next year, but definitely somebody on the cusp. My number 3 is a little bit. We have the same ones, Mark, or this one's the same, but mine's a little bit higher because I don't have a huge fat asterisk to put next to it.
Fat
And
what?
that's asterisk.
Like, hey.
Mark had to throw an asterisk at Noelia Arcos's performance this weekend, and I guess there's some merit to it, but I mean, she still had to win, and when she did, and what I like about Noelia, who I call the lightning rod, is that she raises everybody up around her. Yeah, she's playing hard and rough and she's staring you down, but there's a level, the people like that bring that level of intensity, make everybody else around them better, and make the people that watch it better. And I just love that. I mean, there's an equivalent to when you're giving a speech, like how Rob Mares did this weekend, and he got a little emotional, and he was worried that was bad. And I was like, no, man, you're putting yourself out there and you're being real. You can't ask for anything more than that. And that's what Noelia is. If she does anything, she's just real out there. And for me, that's huge. That's the most important part to progressing, winning, and being a champion. So Noelia is number 3 for me. Mark.
Okay, it's my turn. I can't.
Yes.
I'm dumb. I can't.
You just need
I
you
keep
need to hear the bell ring, right?
waiting. Yeah.
It's
I
Pavlov's
know.
dogs.
I'm
Should I go
Pavlov's
number
worst
3?
dog. I'm Pavlov's worst dog. All right. So Sammy DiJohn is my number 3,
Ooh.
and so Sammy did close the deal.
Oh,
He
yeah.
did
Right.
close the deal, right? He wins. He wins pro doubles and expert singles. And I got to ask him when we get him on here. He's got Sullivan's number. I think I've seen him beat Sully the last couple of times he's
Twice.
played her, but
Yeah.
the last 2 times he's played her.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah, I guess so. But he beat Sullivan. So Sullivan is probably the best women's singles player in the world. And it
Yeah.
puts her as one of the top pro players, pro singles players in the world. As a matter of fact, she's won pro doubles, and I think she's either won or placed really high in pro singles. She's won expert singles for sure.
Yes.
And Sammy and Sully did not have an easy road. I mean, that bracket is no joke. And so Sammy closes the deal and beats Sully in the finals of singles, where he was more impressive, in my opinion. And that's impressive. Whereas more impressive is he's playing Brandon in the finals of pro doubles, and he drops the first set. Now he's not. And I'm watching all this, by the way. I think there's a major match going on in front of me, and I'm watching Sammy play over on like table 6 or
Right.
something. And Sammy drops the first set. It goes second set. It's match ball, and he passes and scores to win that match. He passes and scores. Like, that is a big deal. That's closing the deal. There are more people than not, including masters, that are not going to execute one or the other, and are going to need a second chance to get it done. And so we talk about levels of being a pro and getting to the next level. And Sammy is a young pro, and there's a lot of work to be done, and things change, man. Like I said, I'm a cynic. I mean, he could get burnout on foosball, life change, high school, all these things happen to a young man. But in this time right now, he is accelerating at a rate and a pace and a performance level that is indicative of someone who's trending toward the next level.
Oh, yeah.
The next level is where greatness really gets challenged.
Mm-hmm.
It really gets challenged. This is like he's at an early level now as an incredible forward that people are aspiring to play with. The next level are people like Ryan Moore and Brandon Moreland asking Sammy to play.
Right.
That's the next level. He's not there yet, but he's sniffing it.
He will be.
Sammy DiJohn is my number 3. Yep.
I love that. And by the way, does anybody know statistically, has anyone at the age of 13 ever won a major like that?
Well, when you go back, you start calling things by a different name. Remember, pro doubles is a
Right.
relatively new event. I think pro doubles started in the early 2000s. So
Oh.
they didn't even have that event. It was only open. But if you talk about people that were 13, I mean, like Billy Pappas, he's right there. It's almost the same. It's synonymous. Billy was playing in the finals of expert, which during that time would have been the equivalent bracket size would have been massive. So you just say,
Okay.
there's a certain level of equivalency, but I don't think it's any better or worse. It's just different.
And he
It's an
got
amazing achievement.
Pappas got double dipped at 3,500 limited when he was 8.
Oh,
Is that
No,
my
he was
God.
9.
8?
He was
9.
9.
Right.
So 3,500
He was
limited
9.
would be, yeah, that's not bad.
Well, so
But
that's big. So 3,500
It is.
limited is essentially a pro-am with
It's a pro-am, yeah.
massive bracket. Yeah, it's a massive bracket. So there's some equivalency there. He's playing forward for a great pro goalie named Brian King out of Reno. I was there. That was like it was 97 or something, or 96, and he cried, and I was standing right next to him when he cried when he lost that. He got double
Wow.
dipped at 9 years old. I mean, what do you expect?
Right.
A 9-year-old kid to get double
It's
dipped
too
in a
intense,
major.
man.
I'll cry at 40. I don't care. Dips are terrible.
Likewise.
Anywho,
Likewise. Well, let's move on.
right.
FoosTalk Live Top 5. Number 2.
So my bias is showing, but I can't help it. I'm a SoCal Fooser. This is just who I've been rooting for my entire life, and whose game I've tried to emulate but can't because I don't think the same way that he does. And I'll tell you, I saw it happening again at Bordeaux, where I saw this Fooser start to kind of show, I don't know, whatever fire, whatever interest in foosball that he has that I hadn't seen in over a decade. back when I was following him, back when I was playing too. And then getting second in open singles at Bordeaux. And then this weekend playing goalie for Brandon Moreland, Trevor Park gets double dips, Brandon Munoz and Heltner. And it's no shock to me. I don't think Mark and I were up in that booth that we knew this was going to probably go 2 sets. The talent, the amazingness is there. But to see Trevor do that at goalie, again, it's not shocking, but you know, it's nice to see somebody that you've looked up to as a foosball player come back and just, you know, what do we've got this is PG-13, so I'll say kick butt again. But yeah, but the beautiful thing was, and this is it, Mark, and this is something we talked about. The doubles one is nice, but I was happy. I just love seeing Trevor's 5-bar. I don't understand it. It doesn't make any sense. It's like a roadmap of Australia. It's confusing, but it's a beautiful. It's so much fun. So it's my number 2 is seeing Trevor Park back on the scene again.
FoosTalk Live Top 5. Number 2.
Well, we would have lost 10 seconds with me just sitting
Take the
there
training wheels off.
for that. So my number 2 is almost identical. It's actually Brandon and Trevor. I have them at number 2. And the big deal for me is that could have actually gone either way. Now, if you listen to the broadcast, Adam and I admit immediately it's going to go 2 sets.
Mm-hmm.
But if you remember months and months ago, we did our top 5 underrated, and I had Trevor at like number 4 or number 3. I had Trevor way up there on the underrated, and Brandon is up there too. Or yeah, also Brandon was Jim's number 1, and it's because when these two guys more than any other get associated with their partner's success. Brandon has always been tied to Tommy Yor's success, and before that, Mike Archer's success. Trevor's success got tied to Billy. And you really have to dig deep. Trevor will admit that there was one tournament where Billy basically just like put him on his back and carried him through. I don't think that's entirely true, even though Trevor would self-deprecate that way. You got to get blocks and you got to score.
Mm-hmm.
So, but this tournament really exemplified. I mean, Trevor put up a wall and used smart clears, put the ball on goal a ton, scored key points, changed his defense when needed to change it. And this could have gone either way. Brandon Moreland was up in his hotel room, I think, sleeping or trying not to sleep. Trevor was like a zombie in the balcony while Brandon Munoz was playing his finals of pro doubles versus Sammy. And Trevor and Brandon had to come out of the loser's bracket. That's a recipe for disaster. When the team that's half asleep has to play the guy that's been playing straight through the whole night, usually the team that's half asleep gets wiped. That was a 5-game nail biter, and that could have gone either way. And in my opinion, Brandon got some timely scores because Brandon's 3-bar was a question mark, but Trevor's defensive play and clears and blocking was the difference. And then they crushed him in the second match. And the last thing I'll say, so it was huge to your point, but seeing Brandon and Trevor win together was big because these guys now get share. It's not Trevor or Brandon in anyone's shadow. If you want to see a masterclass in 5-bar, and I'm not saying this because Trevor's listening. I don't even care if he's listening anymore. I don't blow smoke up anybody's rear end. I don't care about any of these guys that much. But if you want to see a masterclass in 5-bar offense, watch Trevor Park's match against Blake.
Yeah.
You get to see some people have like Tommy Atkinson's a great example. He has these exaggerated fakes and people have these high backswings. What Trevor does is something really, really different. There's this nuance, minor movement, and there's no other tell. There's no shoulder. There's no like hip. It's these little tiny, ridiculous little fakes, and he freezes Blake like a deer in headlights and decides where he's going to go. Watch that match. You want to see 5-bar dominion. You watch the singles match between Blake Shelton and Blake Shelton, Blake Robertson. Yeah, the great country singer. And Trevor Park. Watch that match. Anyway, that's my number 2.
FoosTalk Live proudly presents the Top 5. Number 1.
It's also good if you watch Trevor Park play Woody Guthrie.
Woody
No?
Guthrie.
Okay,
Hank
I don't
Williams
know. I don't
Sr.?
listen.
Hank-
I don't listen to
Hank
country, so I can't hang. Anyways, hey, at least I started when I was supposed to. I took my cue, Mark. Number one, and this is something I've been talking about since I started doing any of this stuff with the FoosTalk Live or the Inside Foos stuff. Is that I'm looking at the results. I was prepping for tonight's show, and I was looking at the results of the expert beginner singles, doubles, and everything across the board. And the thing that struck me is that I think 5, maybe even 6, at least half of them were comprised of uh, people that were under 20 years old, teenagers. We have 2 on tonight, of course. And going forward, we're going to have some more Jickum Balcos and whatnot. But and not even just first place, like second place, like Sam took expert singles, and second was Sullivan, who's 18. So the thing that's been playing out since I started really following everything going on this year in foosball was the youth movement, which is what we're here celebrating tonight with our guests. But the biggest takeaway is it just blows my mind. It's not shocking. It's not surprising. It's just amazing to see the youth movement come in and just starting to dominate the way in which they are. So that's my number one. Youth movement, Colorado State.
Love it.
Yeah, I love that. My number one is going to be TSK Promotions. And the reason why is because organizers, and this is not to disparage or discredit or take away from anybody else, but they clearly run businesses that care about customer service. They clearly, and Tim owns a company, and Tommy owns a company, and they've taken what they know about serving a community of people and translated it to foosball. And you heard Adam speak to it earlier. They pay attention to the detail. They have a pickup service. They pick up people from the airport. They have a balcony area for kids. They try to run things as smoothly as is reasonable. It's amazing we got done when we did. We got done probably 7 or 8 a.m. on Monday, but with the number of events that they had, we should have gone till Wednesday. So it's a credit to their attention to detail and enforcement of a good atmosphere and experience. The bar had, I played around a little bit with the bar food. The bar food was great, and they just really want people to have a great time, and that's why their tournament continues to grow. Every single year, their tournament grows, and because people have a good time, and they know that they genuinely care about everyone's experience. There's this whole weirdness about what is a major, and some people think it's a certain dollar amount, and Jim and I are of mind that it is the prestige of the tournament, the history of the tournament, the history of the location of the tournament matters. Yeah, and because if I want to throw a 50 grander next week, I can, and guess what? I can invite myself and call it a major and be a major champion, and I'll win all the events. It can't just be about the dollar amount. It's got to be about the experience and some longevity in history. And I don't know why this is my first time at this tournament, but that's not what makes it a major. What makes it a major is that Colorado has a tremendous tradition, and the TSK Promotions have an incredible product. It has the history and support of the community. It definitely has the player volume and the money behind it. TSK Promotions is here to stay. They're going to do some great things, and it's exciting to have another promotion, especially one of their ilk that cares so much about people.
Love it. I got to say, in that vein, I really dig the king and the queen of the ring competition, especially when Blake Robertson was putting on the belt. That was great. What a moment.
Yeah. As far as signature events go for tournaments, the King of the Ring, Queen of the Ring, pretty amazing.
Yeah, it's so unique, and what a great idea. This is the way to like Mark was saying, grow the tournament and keep people interested and charged up about their event. Really great stuff. Hats off. Well, guys, that was great. This is you actually kept on target too. Go figure.
All right.
Nice.
Well,
what's that mean? Does that mean that Mark actually answered when he was asked, or
something like that?
Okay.
Small miracles. We're grateful for those. But so tonight we're celebrating the rising stars from the 2021 Colorado State Championships, and we're pleased to have two of those rising stars with us tonight. First off, Ethan Nguyen of California, who won rookie doubles, and I believe another a beginners event as well. Let's welcome in Ethan. Ethan, are you with us from California?
Yeah, I'm here.
Hello, Ethan. How you doing, man?
I'm doing good. How are all of you guys?
It's just another night in paradise.
Nice.
So, Ethan, first of all, thanks for joining us for FoosTalk Live. We're really happy to have you along. Have you recovered yet from your journey to Colorado?
Yeah, it's been a week. I've had a lot of time to recover from the jet lag.
Nice, yeah. So, when it comes to the play, we know that you're a teenager. Well, you're 17, correct?
Yes.
And give us an idea, how long have you actually been playing foosball on a competitive level?
I've been playing competitively for about 2 years.
2 years. That's it.
Just
2
about
years.
2 years.
Really?
Wow. With COVID? Through COVID? How do you?
Yeah. I mean, well, no, but like just practicing on my own.
So just a year?
That's amazing.
Pretty much.
I didn't realize that.
Seriously.
Okay.
That is
Sorry,
that's
Tom. I
that's
just had to
impressive.
clarify.
No, puts people like myself to shame, who's well in their 60s and has tried this game since the 70s and hasn't even been able to place in beginners, for God's sake. So this is impressive. So what do you attribute to this early success? What do you do to practice and stuff?
Well, I do hit different concepts that I want to learn.
Okay.
Like first, I was learning how to shoot because that was the most flashy thing for myself back when I started.
Mm-hmm.
Then came to LA Foos Club back in September, and I realized I can't even get the ball. So I gotta have a 5-bar, right? And then I started developing my game from there. I mean, learning all the hitches, learning when people react out, learning how to be more direct in my passes, be faster. That's basically it.
That's cool.
Ethan, do you watch video, or is it a combination of watching video and learning from is it the Inside Foods archive? How much of it is
I
learning from
remember
other players?
this ties into a story. So I remember one time my push side wasn't working for my snake shot. So I spent like I think 10 to 12 hours just watching and practicing, making sure that I had at least a straight long push side for my rollover without any tells.
Oh, wow.
Would you watch Inside Foods video for that?
Anything and everything.
Like a sponge.
Dude, like a sponge, yeah.
Wow.
So, Ethan, I'm curious. I was watching your matches, your finals matches, and there was a huge crowd of SoCal Foosers there supporting you. It's pretty apparent that so many of them have been there to kind of mentor you, be supportive of you, and whatnot. But I feel like Mike Kyrus, who I would consider one of the more underrated foosball players out there, has been just super supportive of you and giving you all kinds of mentorship advice. I mean, would you say that's true? Like, what's that like on your end, considering you've only been playing for relatively a year, to get that kind of support?
Let's backtrack that a little bit. I mean, without any mentors, no matter how hard I practiced, I wouldn't get to the level that I am right now. I
Right.
mean,
True.
like there's been tons of mentors like Christina Fuchs, Phil Peros, Mike Kyrus, Trevor Park, Lewis Fitch. I can name a lot of people.
Right.
They've helped circle my game. They've been observing, making sure like that my game is at its best, really making sure that my mental game is at its peak, so that I don't implode under pressure.
Mm-hmm.
Or like when I'm clutch, I gotta make sure that I'm calm, that I don't show tells, that I'm practiced. Yeah.
That's really sophisticated for someone of 2 years into this game. That takes oftentimes decades for people to get those concepts.
If they ever do.
Right.
I'm thinking of myself there.
Ethan, I was on the phone with Trevor Park earlier doing some research, and he said some unique things about you. He said that he's showed many people something, how to do something, how to practice something, how to execute something. And he said that he noticed the vast majority of those persons filter and interpret it in a way that was different than he actually showed them. He said that's unique about you is you actually filter and interpret things the way they are, which is a very unique property. He said that you when he shows you something, you memorize it and you work on it to exacting perfection. So I want to put that out there and ask you about that. But the other thing he made a remark that probably won't make any point of reference for you. He said that if Steve Morey, who invented the brush pass, and Larry Chesborough, who's probably one of the most talented foosball players I've seen ever, if Steve Morey and Larry Chesborough had a baby, and that baby was a Vietnamese kid from Southern California, it would be you. I added the Vietnamese kid out of Southern California. Anyway, why don't you speak to what I said about? He did say that if Morey and Chesborough had a baby, it'd be you. By the way, that's high praise. Morey's a beast. He's still people hate playing Steve Morey. But talk a little bit about your 5-bar and talk a little bit about what Trevor said. You emulating or simulating the things he shows you.
Well, before I even while I was learning a brush pass, my first mentor, Phil Peros, he told me to start watching a lot of videos in regards to Steve Morey.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I was
That
always
shows.
watching him.
Right.
At first, I was like, this is too slow. I'm too energetic for this. But then I started mixing a couple things in to match with the way I roll throughout a match. Like if you guys watch how Lewis Fitch plays, he can switch it up.
Yeah.
He's also very methodical, but very slow or very fast, depending on any situation, really. But yeah, Steve Morey's 5-bar is just insane, and he's definitely a role model in terms of the 5-bar for me.
I want to say one last thing before we get to someone else's question. You won't know this, and I've said this on the show multiple times. Todd Lafredo, who you beat with Derek Bone, I know this. Todd Lafredo hated playing Steve Morey. Steve Morey was his nemesis, and Steve Morey beat Lafredo all the damn time. And guess who else hates playing Steve Morey? Blake Robertson hates playing Steve Morey.
Really?
Steve Morey takes Blake right out of his game. And this slow 5-bar, this methodical 5-bar, I believe has its place back in foosball, especially with all these fast guys. And I think you're going to take, if you decide to go with some hybrid version, which is this methodical, nuanced 5-bar, you're going to crush some people. You're going to crush a lot of people. You're already doing it. Anyway, I'm sorry, you guys. Go ahead.
Speaking about Todd, Bill and I, we beat him in open doubles.
Really?
Right.
He had 13.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Awesome.
That's huge.
Yeah.
I don't remember the first time I beat a master, if I ever have.
Right?
Maybe once. Yeah.
That's
But I think
extraordinary.
I beat them to the juice bar. I got there first. But no. So Ethan, I want to, and I'm glad that Trevor said that because I feel like it adds a little more credence to what I told you a while ago after watching you play in Colorado State. And I think this is, you can teach by words, but you can also teach by example. And I think that's even more important. And what I'm saying is that I told you your strength, one of your greatest strengths is your lack of self-delusion when examining what you did or right and wrong with the match, right? How to get better, how to improve on what you did do well, and how to improve on what you didn't do well. And I think for anybody out there that's just trying to get better, do anything better at foosball, you have to be realistic about what actually happened. And so many of us get stuck in that idea that, oh, it was this, it was the tilt of the earth. I didn't like the color of the shirt the guy was wearing. There's just so many things. Right. But the reality is that you have to
Parents
take
divorce.
you have to, I didn't get enough hugs as a kid. The reality is you have to look at that stuff. And sometimes when you look in the mirror like that, you don't like the reflection, but you have to face it. And I think that's what I like about your game is that you do that. And it would explain why in just the last year and a half or two, you've, on where you're headed now. Speaking of where you're headed now, you're going to Nantes, France, Nantes next year. Is that
Nantes.
correct? You're just going on tour next year? That's the plan?
I'm not sure if I'm on Team USA. There hasn't been any announcement, but I mean,
Oh, you
I
qualify.
hope I make it in. I
Yeah.
qualified for a couple of events.
You'll still be 7 or under 18 when it takes place?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So you would
Wait,
qualify.
no. I'll be 18, but it's under 19.
Under 19. That's what it is. Okay.
Cool.
Got it. Yeah. Well, my question to you is, okay, I'm always interested, especially someone at your age, you're in high school, you're about ready to graduate high school and go on to college and do other things. I'm wondering, as far as your social life with people that you know that don't play foosball, what do they think of you doing this?
They think I'm very passionate at the sport.
Okay.
Usually, they also think that I'm kind of like a hustler.
Could be, yeah. Wow. Now,
Yeah.
do you have friends who are curious about what it is you're doing, or they want you to show them some stuff? I mean, what happens?
Yeah, I have a couple of friends that I want to just see me play.
Yeah. Nice. So a bit of support there. That's always a good thing. What about your folks? What do they think about you playing?
My family, I would say my siblings, they don't really care that much.
Oh, really?
But my parents, they're really supportive, especially my dad. He's the most supportive person. He's probably the main reason why I'm here, why I've grown so much. Without him, I wouldn't even have a table. Without him, I wouldn't go to all these practice like DYP events, Event Sports Grill,
Right.
everything to Colorado. I wouldn't even be here without my dad. Right.
Wow. That's
I was
great.
just going to ask you, are you going to Fadi's on Wednesday?
Yes.
So Fadi's is my. I was talking early in the broadcast that Jim Stevens and his Amy are going to be in town, and blah. We're getting together at Fadi's house. You live, I think, 18 hours away from us, right, Ethan? Or through LA, it's at least 2 or 3 hour drive.
It's around 3 to 4. Yeah.
Wow.
3 to 4. And is your pops driving you?
Yeah.
Oh, that is so cool. I mean, I got to say, I just love the relationship you have with your dad and the fact that he's always there and just being so supportive. It's just so cool.
I would
Ethan,
also
I gotta
say
tell you, dude.
another
Go ahead.
thing,
Listen.
real quick. In regards to what Adam said, to the way that I'm not delusional at all when I'm self-reflecting, a lot of the credit goes to my dad, because I used to be pretty egotistical back when I first started, just like any other football player that started. But my dad was really the one that really like lowered my ego like down, and really just made me look at the facts.
Right. Right.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So again, a lot of the credit goes to my dad. A lot of it.
Awesome.
That is so cool.
I want to help you out there, Ethan. You should know that Inside Foos is the media, and we could Photoshop you in with LeBron James or whoever and put you on the cover of magazines, and the chicks will dig it, dude.
Yes.
Just show it in high school and say, "Look at me, I'm a star, baby." All right, there's that. I got a question. Do you compete in anything else, or is foosball there's other stuff you compete in high school or outside?
Not really. I mean, this is just a hobby that I really fell in love with, almost. Yeah,
I
like
love
I
that.
just really, it's like my passion.
Yeah.
I'll say this: so in high school, I wrestled in high school, and I ran track for like a minute because I didn't like the workouts. But I fell in love with foosball, and so when I was your age, I might have been I was 16, I think, and I fell in love with foosball, and it was my thing, man. And I was wrestling and thinking about foosball. So if I had to choose one thing, it would have been foosball for sure. And I'm excited that you're of a similar vein, that you found foosball at this age, and that you're competing in it and having fun, and all your energy goes towards it's a really good outlet outside of video gaming and other kinds of things you could be into. Not that you're not into gaming as well, but I'm just happy to see you invest time and energy into something that makes you competitive and keeps your mind working.
Yeah, I agree as well.
And I heard Adam mention that that you might take him on in a game of Fortnite and beat him badly.
No.
Yeah. No. See, I know. I saw you playing games at Trevor's house a couple months ago, and I'm like, yeah, I'm so out of the loop. I'm going to trip over it.
You get smashed. I'm pretty sure you'd smash Adam and me in any video.
Right.
And anything.
Me
ever.
too.
Right.
Me too.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Tom, you're not even Tom. The last game you
I know.
played was Monopoly with the original pieces made out of wood. So I'm not worried about you at all.
Hey, hold on. Don't be
He's
knocking
not a
that.
threat.
Don't be knocking that. I always got the car, man. I always got, that's that was always my.
I was the boot.
Yeah, right. Okay.
Yep.
No, it's Pac-Man is really cool too, man. I dig that. That's fine.
Wow. Okay. So I guess we're dialed in where you're at. That's good.
Well, hey, Ethan, I got to say, it's so much fun to have you on. And here's the thing. Watching someone like yourself, who's only had 2 years in, taking it to the table and winning these events at Colorado State, which is one of the biggest events, if not, the biggest besides Worlds. That is really amazing. And congratulations to you.
Thank you so much.
Oh, you're very welcome. We're looking forward to more from you.
Yeah, and I'm just looking forward to progress and be the best player that I can be.
Awesome.
Great, man.
Well,
I'm looking forward to seeing you Wednesday.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, Ethan, anytime you'd like to come back and hang out with us here at FoosTalk Live, you are more than welcome.
All right.
All right.
For sure.
So, Ethan, thanks so much, and we'll speak to you again real soon.
Thanks, buddy.
So there you have it, guys.
No problem.
Yeah. We're more than happy to hear about these amazing talents that are coming up. Speaking of which, and of course, I have to say that I'm a bit biased about our next guest because I've watched him play since the time he was probably 8 years old here in upstate New York, and he's progressed in such an amazing way that I'm proud. But I'd like to welcome to FoosTalk Live with his dad as well, who's a founding member of Foosball Radio. Please welcome Sam DiJohn from upstate New York. Sammy, are you with us? Let's get. Oh, here we go. We got these guys. Hold on a second. I
heard Sammy.
Yep, I think we got him. There we go. Guys, are you with us?
Yeah, I'm here.
There you are, Sammy. Welcome.
Happy to be here.
Yeah, man. So it's so cool for you to get on after this amazing week you had in Colorado. So have you decompressed yet? Because I know that was pretty high altitude there in Denver.
I definitely have been staying up a little bit later.
Right. Yeah, it's a difference in the time zone, right?
Yeah.
So Sam, I got to say, man, just amazing to watch you play. I just was hanging on every single shot when I was watching on Inside Foos. I was jumping up and down. Very cool. Congratulations.
Thank you.
So Sam, of course, this is not your first time on Foosball Radio, is it?
I think it might be. I'm not sure.
I think we talked.
Oh no, actually, yeah.
We talked a while ago, but things have changed since then. I think that was way back when in 2018, 2019. And so, what is it that you've
done? You're 6 years old. You're not held to remember things when you're 6 years old.
No, he was, I think, 11 or 12 at the time. But at any rate, so tell us, what do you think? What's helped you most to get where you got to? I mean, pro doubles at Colorado State at the age of 13. How did that happen?
I would say the way I got there is probably my dad. He's probably my biggest motivator when it comes to bigger events.
Right. And what's the secret? What does he tell you before you step into the ring like that?
He just tells me to be me and just, I don't know, play how I do when I'm playing with him.
Right. Absolutely.
Sammy, I heard him. He said, "You want to walk home, kid? You better score this point." Just kidding.
No, it's you've really put foosball for the 518 on the map, which is just amazing, more than anyone else that we can say in the recent past. So okay, now I got to ask you about your attire, because when you were playing, I noticed you were wearing like slippers. Is that a choice? Is that comfortable?
Yeah, I would say so.
It looks like you're getting up to watch Saturday morning cartoons or something.
Yeah, I always wear slippers or slides.
That is so cool.
I gotta ask a question, man. What was the catalyst? When did you decide you were gonna lose the thingamajig, the stand? What's it called?
The box.
It's called a box.
Oh.
It's called a box, Mark.
The thingamajig.
Hey, you want to fight, Adam? I'll fight you right now.
I will roundhouse kick you.
Stop making this about you, Adam. Sam, let's talk about me. No, Sam, talk about the box, man. Talk about when you decided to lose the box.
Well, over the past tournaments, when I would play with my dad, I would play without him. We would just switch back and forth just to get like the feeling of playing without it. And then one of the days, I would say, when we were down there playing, it was just like it felt normal to be able to play without it. So we just decided to try one of the tournaments without it, and it went good, I guess.
Sam,
Awesome. Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Mark. Go ahead.
Yeah, can I finish for a second, bro?
Wow.
Just kidding.
Who took your Capri Sun?
Listen. Sam, Ryan Moore and Billy Pappas, and I'm sure even Tony, which Tony's probably the least noticeable. These guys have all had ups and downs, and the highs are really high and the lows are low, and it's never really that steady. In hindsight, it may look steady, but I know there was some transition from you, and I just got to tell you, man, like your pull shot, you're getting taller, you're getting stronger, and it's getting noticeable. Like I've watched Billy Pappas, like you heard earlier. I've seen him play since he was 8 or 9, up until when his stroke, like he grew into his stroke, like Tiger Woods, having really good body experience. Do you feel that? Do you feel like your strength and your height and everything starting to play into you executing at a different level?
Yeah, I could definitely feel this tournament. My pull shot was a lot better than any other one.
Yeah, snappy.
Really?
Yeah, I know it was, and that was something I was going to ask, because I remember I grew up playing on a box. It's a box. When I was a kid, and I wasn't playing at
Not
the
the
level
one you lived in, Adam. Not the one you lived in, by the way.
Let's not get personal, Mark. No, but I remember that transition from like trying to just stand there at the table and having that, and I wasn't shooting the stuff that you were, because I was just hacking around until I was in my teens. But I remember having to feel a different connection to the table. And one of the things that I remember thinking about you when I was watching you play it, I don't know if it was at Nationals. I think it was at Nationals. It felt like the table is an extension of you. And even now, more so, you're getting that pop and that hit off of the shots you're doing. I'm just curious, do you even think about it? I mean, do you even think about what it is that you're doing, or is it just something like another language? Like, does it just come easy to you?
Well, it's kind of natural now since I've been playing for 5 or 6 years now.
Mm-hmm.
That's amazing. So when you are thinking, because my follow up question to that is like your pro doubles match, it went down to the wire, right? It was championship point in the second set, right?
I think so.
And
Yeah,
what was it for you? You didn't you closed, and what was that like? Did you just be like, I'm gonna just do it, I'm just gonna do this, or was there some hesitancy? Like, how did that feel?
It was definitely a little nerve wracking, but when I got the ball on the 3, like I knew I was gonna close it.
That's fantastic.
Awesome.
That's awesome.
Love that.
It's about focus and being in the moment, right, Sam?
Yeah.
So, okay.
It's also about smelling blood in the water like a shark, right, Sam? Like you're just going to tear apart a dolphin, right?
Yes.
A dolphin?
A dolphin.
Okay, then.
A shark. He's a shark swimming with dolphin in a closed space. Let's get real.
Love the
The
analogy.
bloody massacre.
I can
Oh, I
see
gotta
this.
talk to Nino. Nino, dude, I need to know your foosball story, bro. I don't know. I
Hold
mean,
on. Hold on, let me go get him real quick.
He's not even there. You listening in another room?
He might
No.
be. He might be. It's well, he's
Crazy.
Gentlemen,
Yeah.
Nino. There he is.
happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Nice. Happy Halloween. That's the
Yeah,
kind of Halloween
something.
candy I'm eating.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
I gotta ask. I need to know your foosball story, man. This is about you too. Tell us a little bit. How, where, how, why foosball? Where'd you get going?
I just picked it up when I was a kid, and it's been a passion for my life. And to see my son playing it, and even my daughter, she was playing for a while, but now she's grown up in the teenage years, so she's kind of But I had a passion for it from like Sam's age, and I just never had the opportunities like he has to go out and compete like he does. So, yeah.
So Nino, for those who've never been to your house, describe your rec room there, your foosball room.
I mean, we have all the ITSF tables down there, so when all these juniors come around, they want to play. So, yeah, we have it all down there, and collecting a lot of dust. Yeah.
Well, so when you guys were preparing for Colorado, just take that for instance. What were you doing with Sam to get him ready?
I mean, we practice it, 2-3 times a week, trying not to burn him out. He has other things he wants to do. He's active in baseball, and he's got indoor baseball and stuff like that. So, 2-3 times a week we go downstairs and we just, do some reps, and really that's about it. So, he knows now what he needs to do, and now it's just a mental part of the game that he needs to just, work on. So, yeah.
Which is really starting to come into play now. I mean, because
watching. He's off the stools, and he understands the game a little bit more, and he's getting a little bit older, and so it was a crazy weekend. So for sure,
man, just amazing. Adam, did you have a question?
Yeah, I was curious. I love. I think I told you this at the Colorado State. Just kind of more delving into the history of this not FoosTalk Live. What was it called when you first started this?
Foosball Radio.
Foosball Radio. What was the? I mean, because I know Tom's background in radio, of course, but what was your interest in this? Like, what was the impetus for you here?
I think it's just a passion in the game, and it's been a big part of my life since I was a kid. And anything we could do to grow the sport and get the word out there so people understand it, I mean, I'm on board. Really, what it's about.
That's awesome.
He was instrumental because of the fact that for me, yes, I've got the broadcast background, but I really didn't have the kind of acumen of knowing the players, being out at tours. Right. I mean, I've been to maybe 4 tournaments now, maybe. And so Nino and, of course, Chuck Dooley, who's also involved, had a huge background when it comes to the sport and knew everybody. So Nino and Chuck jumped in, and man, it really took off, which was
that's awesome,
which was surprising. But these guys, they were naturals. As soon as we sat down, we did a little test in Nino's foosball room downstairs. We did a little test to see how things would go, and it was beyond expectation. So we said, well, awesome. we got to do this.
And Tom barely knows what a push kick is, and we love him anyway.
Oh, hold on a second.
And when Nino and Chuck listen to the show, they cry. But we're doing it, dude. We're doing it.
He gets out there and he competes with the best of them. He definitely does, TR.
Well, it's you guys are great teachers, and that's the thing. When it comes to the scene at the 518, we have people like Greg Mundell and Kevin Walker and these guys. They're just fantastic to hang out with and watch them play, and they always pull you aside and say, hey, listen, here's something you ought to try, or here's something that you could work on. And it's always been that kind of an atmosphere. It's just we just wish we could play more often.
Nino, do you work on the mental game stuff with Sammy? It's great to hear you playing baseball. I love that. I think it's great balance. It's physical. It's a different type of competitive environment. Nino, I got to ask you, and I also want to kind of ask Sam too secondarily. But do you work on the mental strategy and the mental toughness piece with Sammy? And Sammy, secondarily to you, do you see the similarity in mental toughness and mental tactics and mental strength between the two sports?
I mean, he competes in both sports. I mean, he's one of our pitchers, so he can compete under pressure, and he understands pressure from foosball at such a young age. So he understands the pressure of competing as a pitcher in the baseball aspect of it, and I mean, that's a big part of his life now, and in competing both in baseball and foosball is the mental part of the game. So can he correlate both of them? I mean, I think he's getting there. I mean, what do you think, buddy? As far as that?
Probably.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Cool.
And just confidence. It's the mental part of this game, and baseball and any sport is a big part of it. So, yeah, that's what we're working on now. At 13 years old, he's growing into that, and I think he showed it this weekend, where his mental part of the game is growing as far as foosball, and baseball is right around the corner too with it. So, yeah, that's where we're at now.
When I was 13,
Sam, what position?
When I was 13, I was sticking my fingers in light sockets. So I just want you to know, Sam, you're way ahead of me. And let me say one last thing before Adam goes. I promise you that the lessons you're learning now, whether they're as a pitcher in baseball, which is incredible, the stress there, you hurl a ball at someone and try to not hit them with it while people are screaming at you, and the stress of dealing with a little tiny foosball and executing at a high level with all these adults against adults that are like 50, 60 years old that have been trying to win their entire lives. And you got your dad lurking and he's watching you proudly. And I know you want to execute for him. All these things that happen, they matter in any facet of life. Because whether or not you're a lawyer or you're a doctor or you're a construction worker or whatever, you're dealing with people, you're dealing with stress, you're dealing with situations, and they all apply. Your ability to compose yourself, take a deep breath, understand you're in the moment, and make critical decisions that people care about, that you care about. It all matters. You're learning it at an age when I was sticking my fingers in light sockets.
I concur with that totally, Mark. Growing up for him, he's going to hopefully understand that at some point, that it's a big, big part.
Oh, yeah.
Seeing he's been competing at such a young age, and now with baseball and all that too, and he competes at a high level in baseball too. So it'll all come together at one point or another, which it's starting to. So it's pretty impressive.
Yeah, absolutely. Adam?
Oh, Sam, you're a pitcher. Is that what I'm hearing?
Yep.
Pitcher. I love baseball. It's my favorite sport ever. Huge fan. And I'm just curious, you shoot primarily a pull shot? Or you can
it's kind of back and forth, but my rollover is probably better.
It's better. But I noticed you were shooting pull shot mostly. I'm just curious. I'm asking, this is a roundabout way of me asking you this. For those that know baseball, I feel like there's a parallel between the pull shot and shot selection and shooting and pitching, as far as your timing, the off speed, the holes you're trying to hit, and the picture you're trying to paint in the opponent's mind. Do you think there's some validity to that, or you just go up there freewheel? Like, what do you think about your pull shot?
Well, I kind of have a game plan when I step up or when I step up to pitch. Like, I have a game plan on when I'm going to throw different pitches or paint like corners.
Nice. That's awesome.
Very cool.
And you would take that to your pull shot then too, right? Is that?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, awesome. And one other question. Speaking of game plans, what are you doing next year? What are you hitting all the big ones? Are you traveling abroad? What are you doing tournament wise? Do you know?
we're thinking about hitting most of the big ones and some of the other ones like Colorado and Texas.
Cool. And France, of course, if that takes place, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. The World Cup.
I don't know. It's kind of tough without having our home table there. It's kind of
Right.
that was a tough one to swallow. No,
What's up with that? No tornado table at the Worlds?
it's at the World Cup.
No,
That's
the
what
World
I'm
Cup.
saying.
Yeah. The last, and I don't know, Mark, if you know any more about this, because the last thing I heard was that Jim said that that hadn't been finalized. Although Mary said that, and I don't know. I'm not privy to any of that. Mark,
do
do you
have
know?
some insight. I do have some insight from the top of the food chain, and it is negotiable, but they're way far off. They're not close at all. And
Wow.
so, if I were betting right now, I would say tornado's not going to be there. If I was betting right now, that could change.
That's crazy.
I got to ask Nino and Sam, if tornado isn't there, what table do you pick as your home table?
Probably the Roberto.
Yeah.
Okay. I was thinking Leonhardt myself, but wow, Roberto now.
Yeah. Is there a strategy? Is there a strategy behind that? Picking because the other team will pick Leo. Is there a strategy behind picking Roberto?
Well, since we have all the tables, like I play on them sometimes, the Roberto seems like more comfortable than all the other tables, in my opinion.
Cool. Well, Sam, I
Yeah,
gotta ask you the question, man. We're talking about Colorado all night long, and I want to take you to the expert singles match with you and Sullivan, because this is not the first time you've played her. You did that in what was it at Lexington as well in Kentucky, and you've beaten her twice now. She's considered the top lady player at the moment. What? How'd you do that?
He got lucky.
Lucky? Was Sullivan rude?
I don't know.
You don't know.
You beat her the last 3 times you played her too. You played her at nationals too, because I have it on video. So was it the last 3 times you played her? You beat her?
Yeah, it was.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's something else. No, it's
You got her number.
Yeah, I guess so.
That's his bud.
Yes. Well,
look, Tom's trying to start a fire right now. Like this is
I know.
TNT or like Jerry.
Tom, what do you
Springer.
think?
He's like,
it's
Tom,
my
do you think
job.
you're Mark? You're
It's
not Mark.
It's my job. No, I'm just
Let Mark do Mark.
I'm just fascinated by the story because Sullivan is such an exceptional player, and then Sam comes along, and it's like another Friday night DYP kicking my butt.
let's ask a question, Sam. Where do you feel comfortable against Sullivan? What rods do you feel the most comfortable against Sullivan? We don't need to talk about tells or anything that gives away, but where do you think you're the most comfortable against Sullivan? What rods?
Probably the 3 because my shot. Well, I kind of have like a series I do against her on the 3, because she like opens up holes and if you time it right, you can hit it.
Cool. So you're taking
I know
notes.
what those holes are, but I'm not going to say. I know what they are, but I'm not going to say. I've watched it.
Yeah.
Right. You can see it in the video. But the fact that you're doing this at 13 and you're watching where the weakness is in your opponent, that's extraordinary, man. That's so cool.
Hey, Mark. I was so this. Well, hold on. I'm gonna get to Mark in a second. Sam, do you watch all the Inside Foos stuff? Like, do you watch all the stuff from the '90s and any of that, or do you just kind of?
Probably once in a while.
Once in a while.
Yeah.
Okay, because this is super. This is like a super deep cut, and probably Mark will be the only one that remembers this. But I was watching you play this weekend, Sam, and your body language, what you were reminding me of, what you were doing, reminded me of mid to late '90s Federico Collignon, as far as how you were standing, and he would always do this thing where he would blow the front of his hair up.
Yeah.
Mark, do you remember that?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, so wait. Well,
Sam was.
Yes.
That's what I was trying to all weekend. It was like
I think he's doing it right now.
Yeah, I know.
Dude.
I could just see it because it's blowing in the front of his head. And I was all weekend. I was like, man, it sounds like a song that I just can't quite remember the name of. And then I was watching that thing that just got released on and I was like, oh yeah, that's it. That's
That's hilarious.
Yeah,
You would notice that.
hilarious. Yeah, so Fred had a bunch of nervous tics. By the way, his hand would shake uncontrollably, and then
Really?
he'd pass and score like a surgeon. Like he didn't have like his hands weren't shaking at all. But he also used his glove finger on his right hand to flick his hair up, and he would flick his, but he'd also blow it like Sam blows it. So the little tuft of blonde hair, Federico would flick his hair up over and over with his finger, and then, but Sam, yeah, now that's exactly it. Sam, you blow your hair up. I was going to say something that Nino would not have been happy with. So I won't say it. It's funny. It's funny. Funny. Sam, you're a stud. Sam, you're a stud.
No, it's we're certainly excited for the future for you, Sam. This is just extraordinary. You know, pro doubles in Colorado. You know, what's your next goal? What do you want to do next?
Well, I'm working on maybe like consistently getting up there in pro.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
But after that, it would just probably be to win or to get up there and open.
Right. Now, when it comes to pro singles, I mean, who's your biggest obstacle there?
Well, there's a lot of people. A lot of good players play pro.
Okay.
So there's no specific.
Anybody that you're having any particular trouble with, you really want to study and see how you can take them apart?
Not that I know of.
Okay. Well, time will tell, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, Nino, Sam, have you plans to be at the Smashdown this coming Saturday after Thanksgiving?
We're planning on it.
Nice. Oh, nice. Very cool. And if you listen to Inside Foos, you'll be hearing the play-by-play of the Smashdown coming up this coming weekend, live from Clifton Park, New York, just outside of Albany. So, looking forward to a great tournament. And if you're in the area, by all means, come and join us.
It's not Albany.
We'll be there.
Albany, Albany, Albany.
There's only one L. Okay.
Yeah. Well,
I guess the heavy hitter out your way is probably Kevin Walker.
Correct.
You do okay against Kevin, Sammy, or does Kevin represent a big threat for you?
It's usually pretty good.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
That's always a good singles. The open singles, those guys have played many times in the Smashdown. It's always fun to watch.
I never really watched Kevin play into the last Smashdown. I will tell you that his pull shot was incredibly impressive to me for a lot of nuanced reasons. And one of the big reasons is Kevin is a real student of the pull shot.
Yes.
And he gets into a stance before he sets the ball up. It's a big thing.
We've all learned that.
He gets in a stance, he sets the ball up, and it's a big thing. It's exciting to watch a true student of the pull shot. There's always something to learn with the pull shot, Sam. So there's tons of watching Lafredo as a master class when he's shooting with discipline. That is not when he's shooting like a goofball, which he tends to do too. But watch Kevin Walker, and he's amazing to watch.
No, he's
Wait, what are you saying? Sam is shooting like a goofball?
Lafredo shoots like a goofball. Let me tell you why I said that. Last time I played Lafredo, he beat me in 4 games in open singles, and I was so annoyed with him. He kept shooting a cutback 3/4, and in the middle of the match, I said, "Dude, why do you keep shooting? You shooting that intentional?" And he said, "No, I'm too lazy to get in my stance." He beat me with a pull shot without getting in his stance, and I hate him for that. For like 20 years, I hated him.
Oh,
you're welcome.
Burst your bubble, huh?
That's fantastic.
That's great.
I'm gonna fight you, man.
Well, Sam, Nino, I gotta say, man, we're so proud to have you on the show, and Nino, it's great to have you back, on FoosTalk Live, and this is not the last time. I can guarantee you that, because I have a feeling Sam is going to be doing a lot of winning in the near future.
Well, let's hope so. Yeah, good work out there, guys. You guys are doing an awesome job.
Well, thanks.
Thank you, Nino.
Appreciate that. And
thank you for laying down the foundation for all of that.
Good stuff.
You know what? Thank you, Mrs. DiJohn. I think you're there somewhere.
Yes, Jen.
You gotta have a heart of gold. Your husband and your son take off to play foosball tournaments. You gotta miss them terribly and support them from a distance. Thank you for all of your advocacy, or they would not be able to do this, because you could just say at any time, foosball tournaments are done.
Yeah.
She's going to put in her 2 cents now. Hold on 1 second.
I can hear Jen in the background. Jen, how's it going? It's great to hear your voice.
Yeah, it's going good. Super proud.
Yeah, no
Jen,
doubt.
I got to tell you this.
I'm here.
At the World, Nino will tell you this. At the World Championships, Sam DiJohn was playing a match, and I walked up to Nino and I said, Nino, your son is stunning like his mother. Thank goodness. And Nino just laughed and agreed that he looks like you. And it's the best thing that could have ever happened for that kid. So,
thanks.
Hey, the truth is funny, bro. The truth is funny.
I get it.
Yeah.
Mark, I just if you forgive me, Nino, Mark lives in Chicago, and I'm sure you can find him in the phone book if you need to. Just
got peeps out there.
I'll text you his address.
Yeah.
Hey, I got to get sappy real quick. Hold on. We've been trumpeting about how the juniors and the young, the kids are going to be the future of foosball. That's always very obvious, but that future doesn't exist without the parents and Nino and your wife, obviously. And we heard Ethan giving full props to his dad, Sam giving full props to his dad. And that exists everywhere else, on the U19, the U16, all those other, things that are going on. And hearing it here tonight in this format is just so heartening, not just so much to know that the future of foosball is in good hands, but there's communities. Tom, You're part of this community. You're a huge fan of Sam. I'm a huge fan of Ethan's. I'm a huge fan of Sam's too. But you have these regional areas that are supporting players that are just coming up, and it's just if I had one more glass of wine, I'd get sappy and teary-eyed. But I'm here and I'm happy. But thank you, Nino. Thank you to your wife, everybody else. I don't know. I love this. I love this part about foosball, and it makes me so happy to see it growing in this regard.
Yeah.
Listen, I can tell you, I cried wholeheartedly, buddy. At Colorado, so
yeah,
I bet
it's all right to cry.
I bet you
it is.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Especially so much hard work goes into this, and it shows. The hard work and the time and the effort, and of course the dedication. Like they say, the whole family is involved, which is amazing. So, well, it's the future is not far away. Let's all do this again soon. Nino, Sam, you guys just keep killing it out there.
We'll see you Saturday, Tom.
Yeah, Jen. Oh, absolutely.
Nice.
Absolutely. We'll see all you guys.
Thank you so much for joining us. Love you. Wow.
Yes.
Happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
Yep.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you.
All right, guys. Take care. Wow. So,
all right.
Man, I'm just going to continue to gush. I can't help myself. It's just, I can't help my own personal luck for being so close to these guys.
Right. I know, but it's like an extension. That's the thing that got me, as much as I was talking about Ethan, I know you've been talking about Sam, and rightfully so, since Colorado State was happening.
Sure. Yep.
And there's just something about that. There's something bigger than us that is so important to this, to the sport and those of us that love it and its growth. So it's just so freaking heartening. Can I see freaking?
You know what, man? Okay. Yeah, you gotta be careful. This is a kid show. These are kids, man. These are kids.
You can't be the voice of reason. The world will explode.
I'm trying.
I know.
Kids.
I respect
Ethan
that.
and Sam are kids, man, and you gotta adore them right now in this time, in this moment. They're young kids. They're here in the sport. They may not be here. They may may move on to something else.
Sure.
But we
right.
cherish them and appreciate them right now, what they're delivering in terms of entertainment and commitment. And you just gotta, care about what you see, and you dread the day that they become some bitter shell of foosball players. It's just where we are right now, man. They're having fun. They're having a great time.
I feel seen. I feel like I'm seen. Bitter.
Yes.
It's not all of us. We still, I'm still a child at heart when it comes to this sport.
Yeah, you are.
Just loving the moments of being able to go to tournaments and seeing how this all goes. It's so fascinating and endlessly entertaining.
I hope you go to Vegas, whatever your next tournament is.
Yeah.
Yes. Please go to Vegas.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
No,
I
it
was
was
gonna say that-
so much fun hanging out with you at Worlds.
And we will, this will happen again, no doubt. It's, I'm even willing to, put a second mortgage on the house if I have to. It's going to happen.
Well, you got to do
Yeah.
that.
You got to
need
do that.
If you're willing
We've
to
all
do
done
it,
that.
sure.
Right,
Now.
right.
I put second mortgages on other people's houses so I can play foosball.
So just to
Doesn't
let
matter.
you know, guys, when it comes to a great episode, you want to listen into Shooting the Shot with Clay Toomey this Tuesday at 5 o'clock.
Oh,
He's got Hannah Smith this week.
oh, nice.
Yeah,
Love it.
Hannah
Dude,
Smith.
Mark, I wanted to talk to you about that, but just real quick. We watched that match, I think, together, right? Didn't we watch the women's open doubles final? Or was that
Mm-hmm.
Hannah and
you-
Sully
Yeah.
versus
Yep.
Liz
Liz and
and Chris. Yes,
and Liz Hill and Chris Fuchs and
Yes.
that so very few team compositions can get better after a switch, and theirs did. And,
Oh,
and
yeah.
Hannah was just tearing it up. Obviously Chris had something on Sully's push shot. Fine,
Yes.
they switch, and Hannah just dominates up there. And
Oh.
it's just
and Sully Sully would score from the back right when they
Right.
needed one. It was nasty. That team was
Yeah.
nasty when they switched.
Oh,
It was
yeah.
gnarly.
Liz and Chris.
Yeah.
Liz and Chris obviously played well too. But I mean, that team, that's an all-time team.
Yep, that
yeah.
strategic move just made the difference. And I got to say, I've met Hannah in person during Lexington at the Worlds, and what a charming person. She seemed like a very, very level-headed individual, young,
Nice.
but very fierce player. Fierce.
Yeah.
Wow.
Right.
Wow, I'm a big
that's
Hannah
exciting.
Smith fan.
Yeah.
Big
Yeah.
Hannah fan.
So Clay and Hannah on Tuesday evening at 5 o'clock Eastern time. So tune
Awesome.
in for that on Foosball Radio. We'll have that all ready for you to go, and we're looking forward to it. And in the meantime, of course, we've got Thanksgiving coming up, guys. What's the plans? Mark, what are you doing?
I'm going to start a fast tonight, and I'm going to end it on Tuesday, and I'm going to eat normally on Wednesday, and then my stomach will be just big enough on Thursday to eat the entire world. Just so you know, that's what I'm doing.
Are you doing the cooking, by the way?
I may help with the gravy because we're going to my sister-in-law's house in Kentucky. We're going for a drive.
Okay.
And I may end up helping with one or two pieces of the meal, but the big meal is going to be supported by my in-laws.
Oh, nice.
How about you, Tom?
Nice.
And Adam, what are you guys doing for
Adam?
T-Day? What's happening?
Well, I turkey is the food equivalent of Robert Frost to me. I hate it. I despise it. I think
got
it's
that.
crap. And I've finally been able to get my my in-laws. We go have dinner with my in-laws and extended family, and I finally talked them into just letting me make a rib roast. I'm going to reverse here rib roast with herbs de Provence, and I'm going to make some Yorkshire pudding, and it's just going to be heaven. It's going to be heaven, and I'm really looking forward to that because I don't have to eat a turkey.
You don't have to eat a turkey. Well,
Your turkey skills are weak, dude.
Dude, I can make a turkey that's better than any turkey you've ever had, and I still think it's terrible because it's a turkey. It's a turkey. It's a rice. It's the rice cake of poultry.
The rice cake of poultry.
Especially
Are you
the
serious?
dark meat and putting. Have you ever
No.
took an herb butter and stuffed it under the skin?
Yes.
And
I've
just,
stuffed
like,
everything under the skin.
You know what you're doing. Then obviously you don't know what you're doing.
That was definitive, Mark. That was definitive. I don't know about you, but I think we've been shut down here. Plain and
Right.
simple.
We're done.
But
I'm gonna put some compound butter on it.
yeah, no, it's
That's what I'm talking
What do you?
about.
around the Robertson
Tom, what are you doing?
household. We do, it's just the wife and I, because our relatives are so far apart. We're so spread out. But what we do typically, unfortunately, because of COVID, we can't. But normally we get up very early on Thanksgiving morning and go to a place called Equinox in Albany, where we help to deliver meals. And it's something that we've always enjoyed, 5 or 6 years running. And this year we can't do it because of COVID. So.
Oh,
Yeah, but it is still,
Oh.
regardless, it's a good day just to hang out and, maybe watch Netflix or something.
and chill.
Yeah, and chill. Yeah,
All
that
right.
too.
Hey,
And drink
can
some
I?
wine.
I want to just share something real quick. That something that my mom has been doing is like a tradition that we have on Thanksgiving Day. Although my folks are up in Oregon right now, but they've been living up there for a while. But our big Thanksgiving tradition is after dinner we give each other Christmas ornaments.
Really?
Like meaningful Christmas. I love that. Now I have a closet full of ornaments because of that, but it's all very meaningful to me.
That's
And that's
awesome.
why, and Adrian Lopez doesn't know this, but when he gave me that foosball Christmas ornament thing that I think I posted a picture of on Facebook, I am so excited to add that to my collection of Christmas ornaments because I love that. I'm so into that.
Yeah, that's
So
a really neat
that's our
tradition. Like that a lot.
our
And
tradition.
yeah, no question. You know, in every family, it's no longer you have to stick to the traditions of the past, but make your own.
Right.
So yeah, well,
Right.
very cool. Well, guys, I hope you have the best of Thanksgiving meals and days, of course. And again, the Smashdown in Albany, which is taking place Saturday, right after the day after Black Friday, which is what, the 27th, I believe. So if you happen to be in the Albany area and you want to join us for some great foosball at the Smashdown, we'd love to have you. But play-by-play will be provided by Inside Foos, Adam, myself. Mark, I understand you may be jumping in as well?
I will be. I haven't
Cool.
decided what
Nice.
time frames yet, but I will be. I
Awesome.
absolutely will.
Awesome.
Yeah,
That's going to
looking-
be so fun.
Yeah, it'll be a blast, no question.
Be
But
crazy.
and then, of course, we're looking forward to Jim being back in the fold maybe next week. We see, I know
Yeah.
he's probably still decompressing from his experiences, but I think that hopefully, Jim, if you're listening, happy Thanksgiving to you as well.
I'll let him know on Wednesday.
Okay.
When I crush him with my
I'm a
pole kick.
turkey. I'm making turkey noises. All right, love you guys.
Don't
Yes.
trigger
Love
me.
you.
Love you too.
Okay.
Yeah, guys.
Okay, Mark.
All right.
See you
All
Saturday,
right,
Mark.
have a good night.
Let's do
everybody.
this
All right.
again real soon. It's FoosTalk Live.
Oh,
Thanks
yeah.
for tuning in tonight. FoosTalk Live is a product of Inside Foos. All rights reserved. Brought to you in part by InsideFoos.com, Protectoflex, Rod Lock, 518 Prince, Foosballers the Movie, the USTSO, and Foosball Clubs USA. Tune in again next week for another episode of FoosTalk Live. In the meantime,
We'll see you foozin'.